Hello everybody, welcome to the Arc of Trading. This is Japhet, and today we're going to look at the daily top 10 or the top 10 trending stocks on Investa basically. So right now we're going to look at PSEI first, and as we can see already, I've plotted some of the zones that I particularly pay attention to, the key zones for me, and we could already see here that we are creating this lower highs, and we are also breaking support zones right here, and then now it's acting as resistances right around this area right here on the 640 6450 zone. So we are creating higher lows right here, but we shall see how it reacts again once we possibly retest this area, because it could still hit this area and then react downwards, or we could see a break above and a pierce of this resistance, support turn resistance in days, I don't know, or maybe in a few weeks as well. So I am not sure how long that will take, but for now we did fail to break above this resistance after I tried it for the second time, so we might be seeing this reaction more. So I'm not sure, I can't guarantee the movements, but so far it's not looking that good, because we did see a huge candle yesterday right here. I didn't do a review yet. I didn't do a review yesterday, so but today we only made like a small move on the upside, so we shall see. But for me, this is looking very bearish, and we could see volatility in the coming days or weeks. So first up on the trending stock, let's look at SCC. With SCC, what can I see here? I was plotting these zones before I recorded this, so for me what stood out was this zone right here. We had multiple tests on this area right here at around 3290. So we had multiple tests on these areas, and then it started rallying from this point after the second retest, and from that run it took out this high right here. So it took out liquidity on top. It took out people taking profit, the orders for take profits right here. It did stay here for a while, consolidated right around this area before exploding on the upside and breaking this high. It legit broke this high, and it also broke this high right here. So for me, I'm just gonna take those out as it was taken out. The liquidity, the orders up there have been taken out, so I'm only focusing on what it could do from this moment, I guess. So you could say that this is a zone, as we made a recent high right here, and it also broke that on the move on its upside on this run, short-term run right here. But we could still see this playing out to be a good zone of support in the coming days. This rejection right here, as I've mentioned on the Discord link below, I did say that I would wait for a pullback before we created this close on the candle today, the July 13 candles. Before we created that, we only had this zone to look at right here, the resistance zone. So today was the first day that it closed above this resistance. So this rejection right here is not really, not really significant for me, as it could still pull back a little bit and retest it again, because it doesn't just test it once and then go up running. I could be wrong, but with this much room for retests, anywhere you look at it, it could potentially still retest it once again, because it doesn't just always retest once, as per my experience. And for the setups that I like to do, I don't really trade off one resistance, because I could have not chased this anyway because it bounced super fast. So I would have not been able to take a trade here, a proper trade. So I will just wait for maybe another retest here and then a rejection, and maybe have a better risk to reward ratio right around here. And then maybe, I don't know, I could just trade the highs of this. That's still a good 2R. But let's see. That's an hourly chart, so it's not that significant. I trade mostly from the 4-hour, or some of you might look at the daily, but 4-hour for me is what I prefer. So these are the zones that I'm looking at, as I've shown here. Here at 37.15, I'm looking at that, but I'm also looking for it to hold this high right here, which is around 37.7. So not big of a difference. So we could just, clear this up and properly make a zone right here, just to have a rough zone that we could watch for our highs that was broken and for a retest. So yeah, I'm looking at this zone right here, and I'm looking to enter right around that price point, and I'm waiting for rejections, especially because the big boys or the institutions are gonna be looking at this level too. So we don't want to be taking a trade on a fake out. So we don't want to be also taking a trade right up here when it only tested once, because for sure this could still go back in here and maybe break back into this resistance zone. So that's why I don't trade the first retests, because usually they're just grabbing liquidity from up here. And for sure, there are going to be a lot of retail traders also taking profit here after breaking out. So there's a lot of breakout. There's a lot of action when there's a breakout, because people are looking to sell this, as you know. So yeah, some people who bought from down here or up here, or maybe even right up here, they could be selling or closing their position already, because that's already like 3R, or maybe how many percent is that? 6-7% already. So let's see what happens. I'm just chilling on this one. I'm not gonna buy yet into this. I'll wait to see if this support zone holds, but it's such a small distance from the current price to this resistance zone, so I don't know, it's not really a proper pullback yet for me after breaking. So let us see. But yeah, I'll keep this, and then I'll definitely watch this high right here. I could even set an alarm on this if ever, so I'll set an alert for that, just to see if it reacts again on that level. Let's move to APL. I don't know why this is trending. Oh, probably because it broke down today. Yeah, this is all just today. It broke below, I guess, this zone right here, or we could move it slightly up right there. So last green candle, for me it's black, like the bullish candle right here. This was a zone, and it was trying to break above, break back in, but it didn't. Instead, it did the opposite and tried to break back in, got rejected, broke down, tried again, and then we saw a dump on the upside. So yeah, this is very bearish, and I guess it's trending because people are saying, I don't know, people really want this to come back up as it has the highest, potential for earning. But I wouldn't catch a falling knife, and so far we've only had support zones being broken, and then now a support zone right here. So that's just creating all these, all these lower highs. So I'm not gonna get into this. I'm a short-term trader, so I'm not gonna get into this. I would love to see highs being broken first, like let's say this, and then a retest on these highs. Potentially, if it breaks above this high, that's the best move for me, and that's when I would say, oh, there's a lot of bullish pressure on this one, because I don't like getting in first. I don't need to get in first. There's always a second push after an initial push phase, and it'll rest up for a bit, and then I'm just hoping to capture this second push wave. So for now, I'm not looking into getting into this, and for me, this is still a clear resistance right here, the 0.04 levels. So I'd stay out if I were you guys on this. Not bashing it, I'm just saying technically this is creating lower highs. So we don't have shorts in the Philippines, so trade this when it's going up. And I think the same for Solar Philippines Nueva Ecija Corporation. So SPNEC, we saw this high being tested and it didn't close above. Like it tested it 3 times, I think. Yeah, so it tested it once right here, twice here, and then a third time it just started going down. So yeah, I did have a hard time pushing above. Not enough catalyst on this one, so I hope this support zone holds the 150 level, but I would not get into this. As I've said, I'm a break and retest trader, so I would not get into this unless this breaks right here, above here, 1.88, and then I'll be aiming on these highs. That's a lot of, unhindered resistances compared to if you trade it right here, right now, it could get rejected right away. So it's a bit too choppy for me. So I'll probably just stay out until it breaks the 188 resistance, or not even. If it just breaks this zone, the 1.74, 1.75 zone, if it breaks above that, I could look into this. I could definitely look into this. As long as it breaks above this high though, like you could take out these highs with this move up and then pull back right here on this zone. That would be the best play for me, but right now I am not gonna open a position in this because this bearish pressure could break below our support, and then the support could act as a resistance right here. So it's not fully safe for me yet. And I think the same goes with ALI. Yeah, it just broke a support zone right here, and then our resistance, our support turned resistance, has been tested once, twice now. So I don't know, I wouldn't want to be in this too. And then it broke another level right here. I think we'll see this better on the hourly chart. Yeah, this is clearly a support zone and it broke it below, and then now it's acting as a resistance. So yeah, I would not want to get into that right now. I wouldn't get into this either right now. I would want it to break some highs first, maybe, before going in. if it is to reverse. But if we zoom out on the weekly chart, yep, I think I showed this. I posted this on Investa, and it could even retest the 1945 levels, sadly, because we are breaking. Oh yeah, we broke this low right here. We pierced it, so we could see a reaction right here next week or sometime soon. But this candle reacted well, but it didn't push back up, so let's see. We'll let it take out liquidity from down here first. So yeah, next up we have Dito. For Dito, I know I did post about an entry right here, and I came in late into this, and it did hit this high right here. But when it reacted on this high, creating this massive candle, I had to like abort this and close on a break even. So thankfully I didn't lose money on this trade. But this was supposed to be a setup, and this was a Friday, I believe, and then the Monday it didn't open higher, so I knew based on experience that it's not gonna push up, so I didn't hope for it, and I just closed the position. Because usually on a bullish market, if this closed the day on this huge candle right here, usually would open way above and potentially retest this gap already, and then it would have a pullback, but at least we would have gotten beyond this high. But it didn't. Instead created that double high, which I posted on the Discord as well. So yeah, there was a potential on that, as it didn't open higher than this previous close. So yeah, right now it's probably gonna get choppy right here, but I'm not gonna get into this now again yet, because we see that the bullish pressure is still there, creating that double high right here. So I'm not gonna get into this, because any day it could break down even more. And I think the safest area to buy into this is just a break of this gap right here, like that gap acting as a support. I think that would be the best area or zone to buy at, as it is more dangerous. And if I buy on the break of this 4.43 zone, there's not really much zone to take profit, to target, because of this gap right away. So might as well just break this gap and then aim for the highest at 5.84. So that's like a 1 peso difference. So let's see. I'm just watching this right now, but I'm not gonna make any move on this. So looking at FCG, yes, I was looking at this high as well, as we have a lot of people taking profit here for sure at 0.67. Tested it twice on the 4-hour time frame, and it did react quite a bit. But I think the volume for this isn't a lot either, so you might need a lot of volume for it to push beyond 0.67. More traders, more money on this, but right now the candles are not looking good, so there's definitely not a lot of trades happening on this one. But yeah, you could also argue that we were creating higher lows right here after this low, created higher lows. There could have been an entry here, but this is technically still not reversing, as it is still pushing from the downside right here, and it hasn't broken this significant high after this big push. So yeah, let's see, because it could reverse soon. That's an interesting movement, but we are creating higher lows. So for sure, if this breaks above here, I will look to trade and get into the 0.67 zones after multiple rejections on the downside, and then probably aim for the highs at 0.85, 0.84. So let's see. I'll keep this on my watch list for sure. Converge, yep. For me, resistance, tested multiple times, once, twice, 3 times, and then these lows are still lows. It hasn't been swept, so yeah, it's trying to push back up after this break of this low. After the break of this low right here, it's trying to push beyond that, but right now it's acting as a resistance. So let's see. The best way or the best entry for this would be after it breaks above that resistance, the support turned resistance, and then aim for these highs, or maybe even this high right here. So let's see. There's a lot of upside, or a lot of targets at the upside, so I'm just patiently waiting for this to fully reverse on us before getting in. And then we have Abacor. This one I missed out on. I didn't fully trust this support right here because of this huge move on the downside, but as I've seen this now, because it got rejected super hard on this area right here, there was a rejection right here, but it became it became a solid resistance right here, but it did really hold up right here. This resistance turned support, it held up right here. It was tested once, twice, 4 times right here. So I could have really gotten here after this big push on the upside. I missed out. This could have been a good how do you call this? This would have been a good, how many percent? The sure percent is like 20%, and then now it's even at 27, 30% right now. So who knew? I didn't know, but there's definitely a lot of room still to target the 1.88 levels. It is definitely drawn to that. I'm not gonna get into this because my risk reward ratio would not be good. Imagine if I got in here. Look at where I'm gonna put my stop loss. It's so far down, and it's not even gonna be worth it because my risk is higher than my reward. So I'll just wait for it patiently to recover back down, or pull back, or build a level somewhere. But right now I'm just watching it. If you're in this trade, enjoy it till 1.88, and if it breaks beyond that, breaks above that even, that is going to be crazy. So yeah, that is very overextended for me, but good for Abacor. And it's even pushing with like less than 1,000 trades, I think. So yeah. Lastly, we have MONDE. I've sent this on the Discord as well, a screenshot of this, and I am looking at these levels, a break of these levels at 14.40, because we do see a reaction on the ultimate low. It was trying to push, but it was tested 3 times and it didn't go below, so it did push up, ended up pushing up, but then we had a massive crash after hitting this area, because this is a very choppy area. So this whole area is just a resistance right now. So I'm not even gonna chart that. So I'll just look for a significant high right here that it needs to break for me to look at this and aim for, like aim for this high. So there's a lot of room. And then there's also these highs right here at 20. So I'm not in a rush on this, and I want to be sure that it is more on the bullish side before getting in, because what could happen once again is it tests this high, creates a double top, and then gets rejected, and then breaks down, and then this support area right here becomes a resistance. So I will just go for the higher probability of winning this trade by waiting for a break on the upside instead of getting in right here in the middle of nowhere, because this could still get rejected on this high. So yeah, that's it for me. If you want live charts during the day, join us on the Discord group below. It's linked below, and yeah, join us if you're looking for a community to bounce ideas off with and just share your thoughts as well. Or if you just want a watch list, join our Discord group down below. And yeah, as always, just remember to stay patient, and strive to be consistent with your charting, with your trades. And yes, I'll see you guys on the next episode. Yeah.